That's cranked out 6 runs on 13 hits in a 6-2 win. Tonight, the rubber game against the Rays on Peachtree TV. Next. Late afternoon thunderstorm rumble through downtown Atlanta, and here at Turner Field, we will have baseball just a little later than we thought it was going to be. Instead of a 7:10 first pitch, it'll be 7:30 between the Braves and the Rays. This is Ernie Johnson along with Joe Simpson, the ground crew, putting the finishing touches on the field. And again, starting around 7:30 with the first pitch tonight. That does not mean that we don't have some news to report at this point. Of course, one of the hot topics of the conversation this week has been the future of Chipper Jones. Is retirement looming? When might that happen? Well, this afternoon, Chipper decided to call a late afternoon, early evening press conference to try to set the record straight.
I think it's best that we concentrate on what we need to concentrate on, and that is the fact that this team's in first place, that we are trying to get into the playoffs. Any more talk of the R word will be reserved. Retirement will be reserved until the end of the season. Let's let Bobby have his just due. Let him get the attention that he deserves. And, honestly, I have not made a decision either way. Let's face it, we all know sort of which way I'm leaning. But I think it's best that, we put this all behind us, and somehow the cork got taken out while I'm putting it back in.
And just momentarily, we'll take the cork back out and talk about what you heard from Chipper here, Joe.
Well, I think that's a very good description, that the cork kind of came out a little too soon for Chipper, at least to his liking. So I think it's a great idea if he can put it behind him for now, and if people like us will let him put it behind him and not talk about it quite so much and get on with it. He's not in the lineup tonight. We'll see how much he's going to be playing on an everyday basis from this point forward, but I think it's a great idea because his team is playing good baseball. They don't need any distractions.
Yeah, Brooks Conrad gets the call at third base tonight for Bobby Cox in the rubber game of a 3-game set between the Rays and the Braves. It'll be James Shields and Tim Hudson again, first pitch at 7:30. Until then, it'll be an episode of Seinfeld right after this break. second baseman, showed great signs last year of what he's capable of, and has just stayed with it this year. It's been uncanny.
It's been very impressive, Ernie, what he's done, but it's really been a continuation, like you said, of what he did in the second half last year after he took over for Kelly Johnson. He has started hitting this year and never let up. Over the last 140 starts dating back to last year, he's hit .327 with 14 homers and 70 RBIs. That's incredible for a middle infielder. And this year, if you think, well, he's just been hot lately, au contraire. In the first 10 games of the year, he had 19 hits. He leads the National League in hits, 2-hit games, 3-hit games, and 2-strike hits. He's been on fire all year long, and his .338 average right now is number 2 in the National League. If that doesn't get him a spot on the All-Star game, then I don't know what it takes, because he deserves to be the starter, in my opinion.
And if you think there's somebody hitting better at home than the 400 mark that Martin Prado's put up, au contraire, that is the best mark in baseball. Meantime, on the mound tonight, it'll be Tim Hudson. You started it.
I know.
It'll be Tim Hudson, who had some tough luck his last time out in Minnesota.
He did. He had a rough start. He pitched outstanding against the Twins and had one inning where the ball just wasn't bouncing his way. He winds up losing 2-1. Certainly shouldn't have, but he'll be out there ready to go tonight, that's for sure. Tim Hudson on the year, 6-2 with a 2.43 ERA. That ERA, the 8th best in the National League. He's been very good at home, too. At Turner Field, a 3-1 record with an even better ERA of 2.03. He's been a ground ball throwing machine all year long. He's gotten a lot of double plays turned behind him. There are his numbers overall for the year. It's just a 2.24 average against him. He leads the team in innings pitched and that 2.24 average against.
11 quality starts for Tim Hudson, and tonight he is opposed by James Shields of the Tampa Bay Rays, who last Friday against the Marlins had what he described as the worst start of his career. 3 1/3, allowing 10 earned runs, and in his last 7 starts, just 1 and 5. And so he has struggled after a really good start to this season.
Yeah, his last 4 starts, his ERA went from 3.08 to 4.55. So he is really scuffling. He used to have the moniker of Big Game James. I'm not so sure that he's liking to be called that right now in light of his 4-game losing streak. But his strikeout to walk ratio is 5th best in the major leagues right now. He's got 82 strikeouts and only 19 walks. Those are the ugly facts about his last 4. Braves are hoping he stays cold.
So if you call him Big Game, au contraire.
Do it quietly.
Exactly. We're going to be back with the first pitch. The Braves and the Rays at what is now dry Turner Field. Next. degrees is what the thermometer says. Got some humidity. We had a late afternoon thunderstorm that came through and dumped a little rain on us and caused the delay in this game from a 7:10 start to a roughly 7:30 first pitch. And the forecast is partly cloudy. Looks okay right now as we sit and wait for this third game of the series between Tampa Bay and Atlanta. Braves baseball on Peachtree TV and HD is brought to you by the Georgia Aquarium. Visit Georgia Aquarium where imaginations go to play. Go to georgiaaquarium.org to learn more. Time for the Atlanta Center for Cosmetic Dentistry Big Smiles seat upgrade. Big smiles indeed, where some lucky fans are upgrading their seats. Keep watching to see where their new seats are located. It's sponsored by the Atlanta Center for Cosmetic Dentistry. Vote for Prado. A little takeoff on the old vote for Pedro from Napoleon Dynamite fame.
Yeah, that came from Peter Moylan. He was starting the campaign. He was going to get a wig, I think, and do his best Napoleon Dynamite imitation, which he would be perfect for.
Lucky. If you haven't seen it, it's a classic. So, game 3 tonight, Tim Hudson is still, in fact, has just completed his warm-up session. So he is making his way from the bullpen in right field. And the kids are on the field, ready to meet their heroes when they come out. But Huddy's not exactly ready to throw the first pitch of this game at this point.
Kids have been out there long enough to take a round of infield if they just had their gloves with them. That young man is warmed up. He's ready to go.
And Tim Hudson with an act he would like to follow successfully from what Tommy Hanson did last night. He was in complete control as he shut him out for 7 innings, Joe.
And Tim Hudson's numbers outstanding all year long. Tommy Hanson's have been getting better as we go along. Last night for Hanson, he picked up his 7th win of the year. 7 innings of 3 hits, shutout ball, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. You could make an argument that it was his best, if not one of his best, if not his best outing of the year. Certainly had a lot of the Rays talking about his good stuff, and I talked to a couple of scouts up in the press box too who were telling me that he's coming on to be a real force and a real bad character for opponents that have to face him.
Tim Hudson, meantime, has not faced the Tampa Bay Rays as a member of the Atlanta Braves. Last time he faced them was 2004 when he was with the A's, and had a lot of success against them wearing that uniform. He was 6-1, ERA of 2.85 in 10 starts.
And he's usually a guy who gets off to a pretty good start, so you got to give him some slack here about his warm-up and how long it took him. Teammates waiting for him in the dugout for this, what was going to be a 7:30 start. He obviously got down there a little late and wasn't aware that there was kind of this push here. But for Tim, he's only given up 2 first-inning runs in his first 13 starts. And at Minnesota, he retired 13 of the first 14 he faced in that game. Oh, a little love there for Brian McCann from Chris Medlin. Nothing like a little pregame hug.
Always special. When you take a look at the National League East, Braves still on top. The Mets just a half game back. Phillies 3.5, Marlins 6.5, and the Nationals 7.5 back. Pretty tight top to bottom there. And of course the Nationals with all kinds of mojo going now with Steven Strasburg in the mix.
Yeah, and the Braves expect to see him here late this month when the Nationals come back. But every race in both leagues is hotly contested. The biggest lead right now belongs to the Texas Rangers, believe it or not, in the AL West. They entered play today 2 games up on the Angels, and that's the biggest spread of any division. The Rays come in tied with the Yankees after both teams lost last night, and their lead is 3 games jointly over the Red Sox.
And the Braves in the National League East, that top to bottom is the tightest race in baseball from first to last place in a division. Joe Madden and the Tampa Bay Rays, this is a big game for them, I think, Joe, because last 21 games they're 9-12. They got off to that really rapid start and have had a share of first place for the last couple of months and had it outright for much of that time. But the Yankees have caught them. Winning 2 out of 3 in this ballpark would be huge for them.
It would kind of reset their season, I think, Ernie. They have Bartlett back from the disabled list. They got Deoner Navarro, who's in the lineup tonight, behind the plate some more to catch. So his hamstring issues apparently behind him. Maybe they've got their full complement of players that'll help.
The Rays are 23-9 on the road. That's the best mark in the majors. The Braves at home, 20-7. That's the best mark in the National League, second only to the Yankees, who are 23-8. Tim Hudson applying the finishing touches to an autograph right there at the pitcher's mound, and the kids make their way off the field, and the big guys take their spots as we take a look at the batting order, brought to you by Stone Mountain Park and Evergreen Marriott Resort. For great getaway packages, visit stonemountainpark.com. So here's the way Joe Maddon sends them out for Game 3 as Tim Hudson sailed the first warm-up pitch back to the screen. Reed Brignac starts at short, and he's going to hit leadoff tonight. So a different leadoff hitter than the last couple of nights when John Jaso, the catcher, was in the top spot. Carl Crawford, then Evan Longoria, Carlos Pena, and Ben Zobrist. DJ Upton plays center field. Sean Rodriguez hitting .276, had his hitting streak snapped at 15. He plays second base. Deanna Navarro, as Joe mentioned, is back in the lineup. Been bothered by a neck problem, but he pinch hit last night, knocked in a run. And James Shields on the mound for the Tampa Bay Rays as they face Tim Hudson.
And Ernie, as much as we brag on Tim Hudson and what he's doing this year, one number that stands out that's hard for anybody to believe is that as a Brave, his record in interleague play is 1-12 against the American League. Now, what's so odd about this is that when he was with Oakland pitching in interleague play, he was 10-2 against the National League. So 10-2 over there, 1-12 here. There's something fishy about that, but I know he could get that turned around tonight. Defense behind Hudson tonight. The outfield remains the same. Hinske, Cabrera, and Hayward. The infield a little different, with Brooks Conrad getting the start at third base tonight instead of Chipper Jones. Otherwise, everybody remains the same, and Brian McCann doing the catching.
Reed Brignac steps in, and he is the leading hitter in baseball in interleague play, hitting .522, 12 for 23. Hudson into the wind, first pitch of the game is a strike, 1-1. I would say this was a bit of a surprise to see Brignac at the top of the order. In fact, Carl Crawford was in the clubhouse, said, "Have you checked the lineup card, Rook?" As he grounds to first for the first out. He said, "You might want to go check that out." He turned the corner and saw his name at the top. So he'll be up there hacking. That's one down.
Jaso did a good job in the first game, went 2 for 6 and had a double last night, 1 for 3, but needed to get Deanna Navarro in there tonight to do some catching, so that alters who they put in that leadoff spot a little bit.
Inside to Carl Crawford, 1-0. Thanks for joining us tonight on Peach Street TV for the Braves and the Rays. Starting just a few minutes behind schedule because of the rain. All systems go, 1-1.
Good changeup. The fun thing about watching Tim pitch this year is knowing that he's got his full complement of pitches: fastball, curveball, split finger pitch, that he uses as a changeup. He's got his full arsenal, and the results are reflecting that he's got all his pitches now.
Crawford 2 out of 6 in the series. Had a big game 1. Shut him down last night. 2-2. Toward third, Brooks Conrad cuts the gloss. 3 down. We have talked about what Joe Maddon likes to do with his team, and some of it is the theme, road trips and that kind of thing. I guess they all showed up here for game 1 wearing different soccer jerseys, or I guess football, properly in World Cup. And for the trip back to Florida, they've got the Marlins tomorrow. They're all dressed in white. Everybody came to the park in all white. And what a sight that was in that.
Shoes, too?
Shoes, hats.
Oh, my.
Oh, it's very impressive. But that's a loose clubhouse. That's a fun clubhouse. And it really emanates from the kind of, I guess, the kind of personality that Joe Madden puts out there, too.
The funny part about it to me is that while he's putting on or setting these guidelines for everybody to kind of have some fun with it and dress up, that's how we used to dress anyway when I played.
Sorry to open up that old wound. Saw the swing by Longoria, and he stared at his right hand.
No stride. Looked like he was trying to wait on a changeup. Bottom hand slipped off the bat.
Rounded in the hole. Nice stop. Escobar. 1, 2, 3. First for Tim Hudson. Half of the first inning after a 1-2-3 top half for the Rays. Here's the way the Braves will bat tonight. Martin Prado, red hot, .338, second in the National League. Then it's Brooks Conrad filling in for Chipper at third. Jason Hayward, Brian McCann in the cleanup spot. Then Troy Gloss, Eric Hinsky, who homered last night. Yunel Escobar hits seventh, Melky Cabrera eighth, and Tim Hudson will be hitting ninth.
James Shields on the mound for the Rays, 28 years old, 6'4", 220 out of Newhall, California, lives now in Clearwater, Florida. His number's 5-5, a .455, but his last 4 starts, he's 0-4. His ERA has gone from 3.08 up to 4.55. This is his first ever appearance against Atlanta, but he does have a strikeout pitch. 85 innings, 82 strikeouts against only 19 walks on the year.
Martin Prado leads it off. Takes a strike, 0-1.
Like all the rest of the Tampa Bay pitchers, good fastball, throws hard, 90 to 95 typically.
Martin Prado did not think that caught the corner, but Bill Hahn did. 0-2.
That didn't take long. Second pitch of the night to Atlanta. And the Braves hitter complains to Billy Hahn. Nothing new there.
The 0-2 to Longoria at third. And Pena did a great job of holding the bag, one down.
Here's the defense for Tampa Bay tonight. Crawford, of course, in left. Upton in center. Zobrist in right. Terrific outfield trio. Longoria, Brignac, Rodriguez, and Pena from third to first. And the change on the infield, at least this part of the infield, Deano Navarro tonight doing the catching.
Well, here's Brooks Conrad. He has had his share of highlights. Just makes things happen.
It's pretty good when you've got that many highlights, and you've only got 51 at bats for the year.
Pena makes a nice stop. Shields gets over there. 2 down.
2 nice plays by Pena here to start the game. One at the bag and making that play on the ground.
And Shields did his job. So 2 up and 2 down for Jason Hayward. We talked about the fastball that Shields features, and Joe Madden says he wants a rotation. It's a fastball pitching team that relies on that, takes you deeper into games, and that's a trademark of his pitching staff.
They have quickly established that. That was a good changeup. Went from 93 on the fastball to 84 on his straight change, and had Jason out front.
Over again, 1 and 2.
Best starters ERA in the American League and 3rd best in the bullpen.
And an easy bottom of the 1st for James Shields. We're going to the 2nd, scoreless.
Roy Halladay and Chris Carpenter, who are 2 renowned ground ball pitchers.
The retired Brignac, Crawford, and Longoria on grounders in the 1st, and Carlos Pena leads it off in the 2nd. The Rays, the 5th big league club for Carlos Pena. From a fixture on this team, and a lot of uncertainty with his pending free agency and that of Carl Crawford, and concerns down there about, where will this team go? What direction after this season? And the opportunity that this season presents to go a long way. They went to the series in 08.
Yeah, they're going to have to do some serious investing in some of their young players if they want to keep the core of this team together. They signed Zobrist to a pretty long-term deal before the season just to avoid any problems in arbitration. But it's a different story for free agency.
Pena takes his time getting back in that box. It's a 2-1 count. Hudson tried to get him to chase upstairs, but he wouldn't bite. 3 balls and a strike.
Pena's faced him more than any other guy in the lineup tonight for them. 25 at bats in his career. 5 for 25 with a homer.
And there is the first base runner of the night.
Tim walked 1 in that complete game effort against Minnesota when he went 8 innings. Bobby already with his hat cocked because of that call and the one on Prado. Tim had to ask Billy Hahn what was wrong with it. Hahn said it was inside.
Ben Zobrist has knocked in 3 runs in this series, 3 out of 8. And has knocked in 35 on the year, hitting .310. Hot shot. What a play by Gloss. Can they get it the hard way? Yes.
Mercy. You just can't hit the ball any harder and have it hit the ground. That was a 1-hop rocket that Troy just made a great play on with some good hands. Thank you very much. No chance at all for Pena to do anything except just trot to second.
3-6-3 that happened in a blink. 2 down. Here's B.J. Upton. You either make that pick or it's second and third.
Yes.
That's a little tight. Ball and a strike.
Upton struck out twice last night, 3 times in game 1. And the Braves have had some success taking him up the ladder, getting him to chase some high fastballs.
We saw 1 for 11 his last 3 games. He's 1 out of 8 in the series.
Problem is, for that elevating a pitch, that's not exactly where Tim Hudson likes to work. He's more knees and below, or get you to chase a changeup.
The 2-1. Over for a strike, 2-2. Chopper. Brooks tried to throw it before he had it.
Exactly right, or he just wasn't, he didn't watch the ball into the glove. He was already getting ready to throw and didn't catch it cleanly. Actually kind of swatted it down as he was trying to glove it.
And part of that's knowing the speed of B.J. Upton and
True.
Kind of a high chopper. So Tim Hudson will try to work his way around that boot with 2 out and face Sean Rodriguez, who had his 15-game hitting streak snapped last night. Upton can move. He's got 20 stolen bases. Rodriguez, a .276 hitter. 4 home runs, 23 runs batted in. And taps foul. He's the guy we talked about last night who had the Stingray incident and then has just caught fire since then, including, not saying they're related, Hal, don't look at me like that. But
I think they are.
But you don't mess with those things. And he's, you know, he told me the story today. He was out there with his daughter in the water, and that thing got him right in the heel. And it's no fun. Throw over, and they have got Upton by 2 feet.
Did you see how he was turned? He was already, his shoulders were already facing second base in his lead. Look at that angle. I mean, he was a dead duck from the get-go. Nice move.
Authority of Atlanta National League Baseball Club Incorporated and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Braves.
We are back here in Atlanta. The finale of a 3-game set between the Rays and the Braves, and we're in the bottom half of the second inning. Still looking at that pickoff move by Tim Hudson catching B.J. Upton. Not even close.
Oh, Mac! He was halfway. It halfway looked like he was trying to call time in the middle of that.
Wouldn't have been a bad idea.
No.
Ryan McCann line drive against the shift. Sean Rodriguez got a glove on it in shallow right field.
Ryan was, I think, fooled a little bit on this when he hit it off the end of the bat, but with the shift on for him, that was certainly the perfect place to hit one that softly. Worked out just fine. And no glasses again tonight for Brian. Hey.
There's Troy Gloss, 51 RBIs, number 2 in the National League behind the Mets' David Wright. Came up big last night. There's a drive to left center.
Thought he got that a little better than that, but the wind is blowing in from that direction. Probably held it up some.
Did have some rain earlier. Things have cleared off pretty nicely now, and underway 20 minutes late here tonight for the finale of the series. Eric Hinsky. They put the shift on against him last night, and he laid down a bunt. And then he hit one into the right field seats later. He bats now with a runner at first.
It was a beauty, and he showed it to Longoria about 3 or 4 times before he put it down. They made no attempt to take it away from him, so he took what they gave him.
No shift here with a runner at first and 1 down. And he takes a strike.
Now, I've got to admit, Ernie, this is a stretch, the likes of which I've never seen from a pitcher. I'm not sure if he's getting ready to throw a baseball or if he's working on the bar, working on his plies.
It is unique. That's driven to left center field. Upton's got a lot of speed and a lot of time, and he wraps it up for the second out.
This outfield for the Rays is one of those that if you get any air under the ball at all, they're going to track it down because they can all run. And they all get good jumps on the ball. It's a very solid outfield.
Now here's Yunel Escobar. Runner still at first, 2 down. Yunel looking for his first home run of the year. And there again, distinctive stretch move by Shields. Where's that come from, you think?
Well, I don't know. That to me looks like that would get awfully tiring by the 7th inning if you stick around that long. Almost like he's. I can't say that. What do you call that when you're lifting weights? Like a squat to a press, you know? That's what he looks like he's doing. Only it's like his glove weighs about 500 pounds, so he's got to get his legs working to get that glove up there to his shoulder.
Because I don't recall seeing that move from him. I've seen him pitch before, and I don't know if maybe Hal's better on that. Do you remember seeing that? Yeah, it's certainly more pronounced. The 0-2 misses, 1-2. So it's gone from ballet to weightlifting on the analogy now.
It has. I've seen it a couple more times, and
I just thought you liked to say plie.
Yes.
And we talked about Shields' last start when he gave up the 10 earned runs. And he says really in this game of inches, he's missing by about the width of a baseball. He said, you know, when I'm trying to be right at the knees, I'm a little up, and these guys are getting paid to hit me, and he's paying for those mistakes.
His last start, an ugly one, 3 1/3 innings, 9 hits, 10 runs. His ERAs by month, pretty good for the first 2. Not so good in June.
The count is full to Yunel Escobar. The thing about Shields, though, and you look at Jim Hickey, their pitching coach, he's 28 years old, and he's the, quote, elder statesman of that starting rotation.
Yeah, like their outfield, they've got some young guns of their own on their staff.
McCann on the move on the 3-2, fly ball center. Upton drifts in a busy inning. We are still scoreless as we head to the 3rd.
Deborah Gray King in the Atlanta Center for Cosmetic Dentistry. The place in Atlanta to get a beautiful smile. And yes, ma'am, indeed. Vote for Prado. And hopefully they won't have to see the ground crew drag that tarp out again tonight.
Amen to that. This inning's pitching speed is brought to you by the new Panasonic Viera Full HD 3D TV. With 3D this life with 3D this lifelike. Can we still call it a TV?
I don't know now.
Rodriguez, who was at the plate when Upton was picked off, leads off the third.
When young players come to the big leagues, especially in the other league, you see a guy on TV and he might do something, have a big game, maybe have a game-winning hit. Okay. Sean Rodriguez, okay. But you don't really put a face with the guy or some ability with the guy until you see him play live. And he's been impressive. I love his swing.
Not only playing second base in this series, also went to center field last night, late in the game. Joe Madden says he's got a good problem coming up. All of his guys are getting healthy at the same time. Now he's trying to find spots for everybody to play, and he's got some guys playing well and doesn't want to sit them. Rodriguez wants to ask Bill Hahn if he swung at a strike there. One down.
Looks like he did. Excellent changeup. Tim's got a good one tonight.
Here's the catcher, Deoner Navarro. He's been bothered by a sore neck. Had a cortisone shot for it. Came off the bench last night. Knocked in a run.
Double. And that 212 average doesn't look like much, except over the last 2 weeks he's hit 308. So think where it was before that.
Blew it right past him, a ball and 2 strikes. Turned into a very comfortable evening here at the old yard after the afternoon rain. We're in the third. And another strikeout for Tim Hudson.
He's rolling. Remember, it was his game in Minnesota against Francisco Liriano that only went 2 hours and 4 minutes. Those two guys were mowing them down. Liriano by strikeout, Hudson by early count groundouts.
Here's James Shields. The Rays pitchers are 0 for their last 17. Their last hit coming June 19th of last year by Andy Sonnenstone.
You go a calendar year without a hit, that's kind of a bad thing.
For an entire pitching staff. And the streak continues. 3 up, 3 down in the third on Peachtree TV.
the Home Depot. And tonight, if you have a question, send us an email, and if chosen, we'll answer it later in the game. Send your email to braves@peachstreettv.com. Please tell us your name. And remember, more saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot.
All right, y'all. Time for the AirTran Airways home run inning, where Tom from Atlanta will have the chance to win free airfare for two on that very plane if the Braves hit a home run during the third inning. Visit PeachstreetTV.com/contest for official rules and to enter for a chance to win. AirTran Airways. Go. There's nothing stopping you.
That was the 8:05 to Chicago Midway.
There you go. So, Tom, here you go in the bottom half of the third. Melky Cabrera, Tim Hudson, and Martin Prado.
Oh, no. He's the guy that has faced Shields more than anyone else for the Braves. 4 for 17 in his career in the American League. Of course, played against him in the same division.
Good pop on that fastball. 2-1. Count even at 2-2. Braves welcome the Kansas City Royals to town tomorrow night, while the Rays head back to Florida. Weekend set with the Marlins. Melky 3 out of 9 in this series. Waits on a 3-2. Fly ball to left. And Crawford wraps it up, 1 down.
And again, the Braves are going to have to pick on somebody else because these outfielders just are too good to try to hit fly balls and expect one to drop.
So here is Tim Hudson. 258. Leads the pitching staff with 8 hits and 31 at bats.
He's swinging it. Had a 5-game hitting streak, or as Smoltz said, 25-game hitting streak if you count all the days in between.
Well, that's the way John would see that. He has 1 career home run in 314 at bats, and he was questioning this call as he gave Bill Hahn a look.
Thought it was a little high, I'm guessing. Yeah, the home run came last year in St. Louis. Deep into the bullpen.
Shields with the 0-2. But he stays alive.
You know, Tim had a great career at Auburn, not only as a pitcher, but as a hitter. We've talked about how he was all SEC as a hitter, too. But he says, and he'll admit to the fact that he said, I was all world with a Louisville Slugger aluminum bat. The wood bat kind of changed things.
Did it ever?
Atta baby, make him work.
Bottom 3, 1 down. Tim Hudson at the plate. Back up the middle, not hit hard. And an easy play for Reed Brignac, 2 down.
And with 2 out, now it's time to take a look at the SunTrust Solid Performance, brought to you by SunTrust. Live solid, bank solid. Tonight's subject is National League June batting averages. And for the Atlanta Braves, they're tops in the National League. How about that? 289 over the hard-hitting Cincinnati Reds, who won today. And you know what? The Giants' offense is coming around. They've made a couple of additions to their lineup. And to go with that pitching, the Giants, I think, will be heard from all summer long.
Martin Prado waiting on an 0-1 from James Shields. Didn't mean to, 0-2.
Martin, as we told you, got off to a hot start. 19 hits in his first 10 games. Had a great month of April. Really cooled off down to 299 in May, but up to almost 400 for the month of June coming into play tonight.
Shields missed inside, a ball and 2 strikes.
I agree.
They definitely have the campaign out in force. And well deserved, too. This is not just one of those, hey, he plays on the home team, vote for him.
This is one of those primary examples of how the starters ought to be voted by the players. Players have a good sense of who's playing the best, who's having a good year. Let the fans vote for the subs, but the players should be able to vote for the starters.
Fouled off over by the Braves dugout and out of play.
With all due respect to Chase Utley, who's leading in the voting with almost 2 million votes and twice as many as Martin. Chase Utley, quite frankly, can't polish Martin's shoes right now. Martin's the best second baseman in the league.
And he waves at that offering from Shields to end the third. Sorry, Tom from Atlanta. Hang with him. This has been the Airtran Airways home run inning of the game. Be sure to register at Peachtree TV.
But was released 8 months later and never played a game for the Bravos. We'll have the answer for you in the bottom half of the inning.
Reed Brignac leads it off here in the fourth. Grounds to Martin Prado. Yeah.
You were talking about their players that are getting healthy and coming back, Ernie, and Brignac's a prime example that stepped in the absence of Jason Bartlett and has really swung the bat. I'm sure Bartlett's probably a better, slicker fielding shortstop, but right now you got to figure Joe Madden likes having Brignac's bat in there.
And they got Joyce in the outfield, who's coming back, who's just tearing the cover off the ball in AAA, and Joe Madden saying he's knocking on the door pretty heavily, but it's a good problem to have if you're a skipper.
Right.
rather than trying to plug holes.
As good as Tim Hudson was in Oakland, 20-game winner and all, right now he has the best ground ball to fly ball ratio in his career working, 76%. 3 out of every 4 outs recorded by either ground ball or fly ball is on a grounder. Uh-oh.
Walks Crawford on 4 pitches.
I want to give that guy a free pass.
On a team that likes to run, nobody likes to do it more than the guy on first base. Carl Crawford has 23 steals to lead the team. So a runner at first for Evan Longoria. 12 home runs and 51 runs batted in. Keep your eye on Crawford at first. Over for a strike, 0-1.
Base stealers 3 for 8 against Tim. This might work to Tim's favor with Longoria for this reason. With Crawford a threat to steal, McCann's going to want the ball away a little bit, try to keep the ball away from Longoria so he can have a chance to throw him out if he goes. Well, Longoria's a dead pull hitter. He wants something to turn on. And if they do keep the ball away from him a little bit, he may try to turn on something and wind up hitting a ground ball and into a double play.
Hudson ahead 0-2. Crawford on the move. Grounded towards short. Only play is the first. 2 down.
That's too bad. If he hadn't been running, it had a perfect double play chance.
So the Rays with a runner in scoring position with 2 out now, and Carlos Pena at the plate. Has 15 homers and 45 RBIs, but is struggling to reach the 200 mark. 196 as the night began, and he walked in the second.
Braves can't put the full shift on for Pena because of the runner at second, but at the very least it allows Escobar to hang around the bag and keep Crawford close. And knowing that he's at second base, if you're one of the Braves outfielders right now, you know you've got to charge the ball hard on a base hit to have any chance at all of throwing him out at the plate.
What are you looking for here from that center field camera, Joe? You see a runner at second. You see Escobar, who has good position there. If you want to put something on or try some kind of a daylight play or something, what are you looking at? Something from Brian McCann? You're looking at something that's only between Huddy and Escobar?
It's probably coming from Escobar.
And there goes Crawford. Into the shift. Can he make that play? Prado. No, they call him safe. And Crawford scores. He was going on the pitch, and Bobby Cox doesn't think that he beat that throw to first.
Well, the speed of Carl Crawford comes into play again, and it's one more example, too, Ernie, of how with the Braves not able to put a full shift on. This would have been right to Escobar normally, but Martin couldn't get much on the throw, tried to do a jump throw, and the throw didn't have a lot on it. It looked like he beat it.
By a half a step, Pena did beat it. And Crawford going on the pitch, scored easily, 1-0, Tampa Bay. So here's Ben Zobrist, who taps to first, loss to Hudson. And that retires the side, but not before the Rays break out on top. It's 1-0 as we go to the bottom of the fourth.
Thanks to the speed of Carl Crawford. Here's tonight's Toyota Trivia question answer. What former Rays pitcher signed with the Braves in December of '06, but was released 8 months later and never played a game for the Braves? Any clues? Any thoughts? Because I don't have an idea.
No, I would just say if you have the answer, please provide it.
Fire it up there. Tanyan Sturtz.
Told you.
I saw him in the clubhouse a lot. Yeah, but he was battling some arm troubles at that particular time.
I think I could have phoned a friend and not gotten that one either.
We lost all our money in cash cab, I know that.
Bottom of the fourth inning. Braves trailing 1-0. Brooks Conrad playing third tonight for Chipper. Grounded to first his first time. So one of the things we've talked about as this series began, the team speed of the Tampa Bay Rays really came into play, and it's not going to be anything that really shows up when you look at the box score. You won't see a stolen base for Carl Crawford in that fourth inning, but because he was running, it kept him out of a double play, and because he was trying to steal third, he was able to score on that ball that Prado flagged down. Because if he's not going there, Martin holds on to it or throws home, and then you got runners on the corners.
Yeah, his timing was impeccable. He was actually running on an 0-2 pitch to Longoria that he bounced out on. And then got a darn good jump to third, even though Escobar's playing right behind him.
Jason Hayward struck out his first time.
Come on, Jake.
A while since we've seen a long ball from the Braves' prized rookie. Ball and a strike.
If you missed it, here's that play. Broke for third, Crawford, then the bouncer up the middle. Tex Fay, our high third Cameron, got a perfect shot of it. Runner beats the throw to first, and even though Gloss turned to argue with the umpire a little bit, he had no play at the plate.
in 79 at bats without a home run for Jason Hayward. And that ball
how many
was stroked to the gap in right center field and out of here. So we can retire the home run drought card.
Yes, indeed. I wish Hal would have broken it out at about the 40th bat mark. It would help. But that ties it up. Hayward moved up on the plate a little bit yesterday. Actually, the last part of game 1 of this series, got a couple of knocks, had one yesterday, now a homer.
That was number 11. 44 runs batted in. We're in a tie game now, 1-1. Oh, Brian McCann trying to take a page out of Eric Hinsky's book from last night with the shift on, and Evan Longoria basically playing short.
But he won't be able to try that now, not with 2 strikes on him.
Ball hit toward the track and left. 2 down. So it's buzzing here after the Jason Hayward haymaker.
Buzzing almost like a World Cup soccer match.
Can't get anything by the truck.
No.
You tried to slide that one in there. Loss takes high, 1-0. So with the game is tied at 1, 2 down here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Well, that's hit hard right at Longoria. Makes the play, and that does it for the 4th. But the Braves tie it up with Jason Hayward going deep. It's 1-1.
Live large, pay less.
4 innings in the books. Braves and Rays tied at 1. Tim Hudson to B.J. Upton to start off the 5th. Shortened a bunt. Brooks Conrad came sprinting toward the plate. Takes a strike, 1-1. Upton reached on an error by Conrad in the second and was promptly picked off. Towards second, Prado. One down.
Well, Upton really got fooled, but I think it was on one of those pitches that was upstairs, Ernie. I mean, that was a half swing. Yeah, pitch is up, and he didn't know what to do with it, but he was already committed to swing, and then just wound up kind of fighting it off, getting him out upstairs.
The number 7 hitter is the second baseman, Sean Rodriguez. Strikeout victim his first time. Hudson has 2 strikeouts. They came back-to-back in the third. Rodriguez and Navarro.
Braves have not lost a home series since late April against the Phillies. It's played outstanding here at home. Had their 9-game home winning streak snapped Tuesday. Seven 1-1 this year.
Over Hudson's head. Escobar, bare hand, great play.
Yeah, baby. Look at Tim. Tim had a thought of trying to go up the ladder and try to get this one himself, but couldn't reach it. And then Escobar's only play was to barehand it, and he makes this play as good as anybody barehanded. Nicely done.
Ball came up nicely for him on that last hop, too.
Sure did.
So 2 down for Diano Navarro.
Outs recorded so far, Ernie, for Hudson, and 10 have been by way of ground out.
Navarro takes it right back where it came from. 2-out single. So he's at first with the pitcher James Shields at the plate. He popped a Prado his first time, running the Rays pitcher's streak at the plate to 0 for 18, dating back to last year. Bounced in the hole. Look at the play by Prado. But in no position to throw, and that's an infield single for James Shields. And the Rays are off the schneid, as the pitching staff is. And they're all smiles in the Tampa Bay dugout.
Yeah, they're throwing the ball out, so apparently that's not his first big league hit. Great effort there by Martin. But couldn't get it to first in time. James Shields actually 6 for 24 now in his career, so pretty good average.
So after 2 quick outs, the 8 and 9 hitters have reached. And here's Reed Brignac, who came into the game with the best average in baseball in interleague play at .522, has grounded out twice.
Told you at the beginning of the game that Tim Hudson leads the team in innings pitched and average against. Came in with an average of 224 against him. But how about this? With 2 outs and runners in scoring position, you think he's not at his best? But just a 107 average against him.
Fought that off into the seats over the Rays dugout. Going to take a long single here. Navarro running at second. Not great speed, so the Braves have a chance there. If Brignac does come through with a base hit with 2 out. Hudson ahead 0-2. Right back to him. The end of the inning for the Rays. He put 2 on, but can't move them home. Game's tied at 1.
At 5:30 on Peachtree TV.
Fans, you're cordially invited to the 2010 Braves Diamond Gala, Sunday, June 27th at the Lowe's Hotel, benefiting the Braves Foundation. The Diamond Gala is a star-studded night of casino games, entertainment, silent and live auctions, alongside Braves players, coaches, and alumni. For tickets or more information, visit braves.com/gala.
We are moving to the bottom half of the 5th in a 1-1 game. Eric Hinsky, Yunel Escobar, Melky Cabrera. The 6, 7, 8 hitters for the Braves due up against James Shields.
Nice to get the leadoff man on and then have him work from the stretch the whole inning. Kind of wear him down, you know, that.
With the unique stretch move.
Yes.
They got the shift on. Longoria, though, staying put at third.
Hit. Not going to let him bunt anymore, especially leading off the inning.
Hinsky on a line to center. And just a couple of steps back for B.J. Upton, 1 down.
Let's go. 2 hard hit balls for Eric tonight, but nothing to show for it.
Talk about the difference in styles between these 2 pitchers tonight. And you pointed out the fact there's only been 1 out made by Tampa Bay on a ball in the air. That was a pop up to second. And meantime with Shields, lots of fly ball outs. Jason Hayward got a hold of one, stuck it in the seats in right center to tie the game at 1.
5 all outs already for Shields, Ernie.
Easy play for Evan Longoria. Quickly 2 up, 2 down.
This is not at all the way James Shields pitched in his last 4 starts, I promise you.
This is more like the way he pitched in his first 4.
Yeah.
Got out of the gate 4-0 this year.
First loss of this stretch, though, was a good outing, as he went 8 innings against Boston and got beat 2-0 by John Lester. But since then, 5 1/3, 7 innings, but he gave up 10 hits and 6 runs. And then his last outing, 3 1/3, 9 hits, 10 runs. He was also the guy that was the pitcher of record against Dallas Braden the night or the day he threw the perfect game for Oakland.
So it doesn't matter how well you pitch that day.
No.
If the guy on the other side isn't going to let any of your guys get on, you got no chance. The 0-1. Now Melky Cabrera in a hole with 2 down here in the 5th.
This guy's been a workhorse for them, though, the last 3 years. He's thrown over 215 innings each of the last 3 years. 215, 215, 219. 07 he went 12-8. The next year he went 14-8. Last year 11-12.
Melky just reached out and stayed alive, tapping that one foul. It's still 2-2.
Hey, no.
Right back to Shields. And that's a 1-2-3, bottom of the 5th for the Braves. We're tied at 1 here at Turner Field.
Than we have been this week. 7:30 will be on the air against Kansas City Royals as Ned Yost brings his Kansas City team to town. Last 2 games of that series on Sports South and then Fox Sports South for the day game on Sunday. And then the Braves, after a day off on Monday, travel to Chicago, take on the White Sox as interleague play continues, and we'll have those games for you right here on Peachtree TV, the first 2 of those 3. A road trip for PTV.
Looking forward to that next week. Now here's Carl Crawford. It's 2-0, and you don't want to do what you did last time. He walked and scored. When the Rays are having success, you usually find this guy right in the middle of it.
Just a dynamic player. So don't walk him again. Leading off the inning.
3-1 over and the count full. 6 home runs, 36 runs batted in, 23 stolen bases for the Rays left fielder, and he draws a walk to start the 6th. Let's take a look at what the Phillies are doing in New York tonight against the Yankees, leading 3-1 in the bottom of the 6th. Shane Victorino continues to swing a hot bat. And the Mets leading 5-3 in Cleveland, just a half game behind the Braves in the NL East.
Mets trying to make it 7 in a row.
Ooh, he had him leaning.
Sure did.
Crawford leads their team in stolen bases. Edges away with nobody out in the 6th. Strike to Longoria, 0-1. Longoria has twice grounded out to short.
Just looking at Carl Crawford, most base stealers, of course, the all-timer Ricky Henderson, most of them get real low and try to stay low as they cross over and in their attempt to steal bases. He's rather upright by comparison. Bent a little bit at the waist, but not real low. But it works for him.
Hudson's got a speedy guy at first and a dangerous hitter at the plate in Longoria. Another throw over.
David Ross was talking about Carl Crawford today before the game, saying that he played against Carl in the minor leagues. They kind of came up different levels together. He said, but then he just blew right by me getting to the big leagues. But he said it was amazing. He said it just seemed like any time he wanted to get a bunt single, he could put one down anytime he wanted to get on base, and that he could do anything he wanted on the baseball field. That was apparent at an early age.
McCann and Hudson trying to get on the same page. And Troy Glaus apparently has Crawford in stitches at first. He's gone. The throw. Got him.
I love what Brian McCann did there. Outstanding. He didn't shift his feet. He just watched his right foot. He just left it planted, stepped, made the throw. Martin digs out the short hop and applies the tag, but no shifting of the feet for McCann. He just blew out of there to get rid of the ball quicker. That was outstanding. Fifth time he's been caught stealing.
Now the 1-1 to Longoria with the bases empty. 2-1. Tapped right off of his foot. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Let's take a look at Crawford.
Oh, he got a little bit too far out over his feet there again. Ernie, that was a difference maker too. Remember, that's exactly what happened to him when he rounded third a couple of nights ago. He just got out over his feet too far. That upper body did.
He was able to recover the other night when he fell and was able to score. But tonight, thrown out by Brian McCann. And that was a great play by Prado. Nice pick and tag. That's pop foul over by the Braves dugout. Troy Gloss was checking his position near the dugout and the tarp, and it fell harmlessly.
Well, Troy will be the first to tell you should have caught the ball. That's pretty obvious. But this is the time of night where you really don't want to take your eye off the ball. It's hard to see, and he thought he'd run out of room and hadn't. The hard part is when it's twilight like this is just taking that quick peek to find the wall and then recollect the baseball. Sometimes you can't.
So another life for Evan Longoria. And so that foul pop doesn't matter. Goes down swinging, two down.
Short new life. Great changeup. That throw out of Crawford, I think, probably invigorated Tim Hudson a little bit.
So two down for Carlos Pena. Walked and singled. The shift on. And the shift was on last time he was up there too when Prado made the play in short right field, but after making a backhand stop, couldn't get enough on the throw to catch him and scored a run. The only Tampa Bay run of the night.
And remember, too, that Escobar was on the third base side a second to try to hold the runner. Otherwise, if he was where he is right now, he'd have been able to make that play instead of Martin.
The 2-0. Cut right through it. Tim Hudson, a great story. You've talked about what you've seen from him now, but where he's been and his perseverance to get back to this point.
A lot of hard work.
Two balls and two strikes.
And he has said before that part of what helped him when he was doing his rehab was his shoulder got better. His conditioning got better. 78 pitches on a mugging night here tonight is not that many, but because of the humidity, can take a lot out of you. He's in great shape.
And you're waiting on a 2-2. Here it comes. Danced out of the way. Full count.
Tim's missed in there to left-handers several times tonight, including his both ball fours to Carl Crawford. I don't know if it's a grip issue that might be plaguing him a little bit with his two-seamer, or if he's just a little bit off mechanically.
He struck him out. Oh, somebody's got a paintbrush. We'll be back.
Don't miss The Office, Friday at 6 on Peachtree TV.
Well, we got a good one going here at Turner Field. Game 3, the finale of this set with the Tampa Bay Rays. 1-1 as we go to the bottom half of the 6th. Tim Hudson and James Shields dueling tonight.
Yeah, Braves have only had 2 base runners, one a single by McCann and the other was a trot around the sacks by Hayward. No walks tonight for Shields, so he hasn't been really pressed that much, hasn't had to work out of the stretch much. Maybe this is the inning.
Tim Hudson will lead it off. Into center. It'll fall for a hit.
Yeah. Probably doesn't need his jacket.
It's a good call.
Let's see how Bobby plays this. Tim's a good base runner. Let's see if Bobby wants to get a run here. Give Tim a lead. See if Martine's bunting.
Prado 0 for 2. Grounded to third. Struck out in the third. Shields threw over. Pena playing in front of Hudson.
And then Shields looked to Longoria to see if Martine had squared around, and Longoria shook his head no.
Prado takes outside 1-0.
In some ways, that stretch, I mean, it's kind of it's almost like a windup in a way, but he does have to stop at the top of his right shoulder. And I'm sure the umpires are keeping a close eye on that.
Prado takes a strike 1-1. And no indication that he's going to lay one down, but he's looking down at Brian Snitker with the count 1-1. Longoria playing behind the bag at third. Grounded toward the hole and into left field for a base hit. Good start to the 6th for the home team. Runners at first and second, nobody out.
Just chopped it through there. Their infield playing up the middle for a chance at a double play. So a long way to go for Brignac in the hole.
Now with Brooks Conrad coming to the plate, Joe Madden has summoned his infield to the mound.
Here are a couple of thoughts. I mean, they're certainly anticipating bunt with Brooks up there and Hayward up next. But he's got his whole infield drawn in. He's talking more to them than he is his pitcher. And you got the pitcher running at second. So that maybe, perhaps they feel they can put on a play, a pickoff, or a wheel play where they might be able to either pick Tim off or throw him out at third base by putting the wheel play on. Pitchers typically have a very conservative lead.
Conrad squares. Perfect bunt. Mission accomplished. What a great bunt.
Amazing.
No chance for a fourth at third.
Well, and he was halfway getting out of the way of the pitch, which is kind of what he did on the squeeze play when the ball was almost going to hit him in Minnesota and he got it down. Watch him duck out of the way and falling backwards, still put down a beauty. that.
1-3. That is something.
Yeah. He's going to have to be careful with that back foot by squaring around. If you put that back foot out of the box and make contact, you're out. I think he was getting out of the way to avoid that.
Well, Jason Hayward steps to the plate, and this is what he did in the bottom half of the fourth. Breaking a 79 at bat drought. Homerless by going deep. He bats here with runners at second and third.
And their infield is in the sixth inning. They know they can't afford to give up any runs the way Tim Hudson's pitching.
On a line foul. Shattered his bat.
That would have been nice. Just hooked it a little too much. You know that James Shields is not quite sure where to go to get Jason Hayward right now after he hit the homer and then hooked that one foul hard.
Hudson leads from third. Prado at second. 1 out. And fouled off by Hayward. He's behind in the count, 1-2. The go-ahead run 90 feet away. A 1-2. They ooh and they ah here. That one was close.
Yeah, he tried a backdoor slider or cutter and just missed.
Two. Tie game. Bottom of the sixth. And he struck him out.
Change up and a beauty. Dying down and away from him. Jason couldn't reach it just to get a piece of it.
And they will not let Brian McCann swing the bat with a base open.
Wow. He heads up, Tim. He almost threw that one to the backstop.
So they are loaded for the Braves leader in home runs and RBIs, Troy Gloss. And nearly half of his runs batted in have come with 2 out, 25 of his 51.
Two of them did last night. Troy is 0 for 9 against this guy. Did hit the ball sharply his last time up. A ground ball shot right at Longoria.
Fly ball right. Zobrist with a long run, and he can't make the play. Hudson scores. Prado scores. And the Braves lead 3-1.
No one said it had to be pretty, but this is another swing with 2 outs to drive in 2 more runs for Troy. Right off the end of the bat. Shields made a good pitch. He didn't get a good result. And even with all that speed Zobrist has, he can't make the play. Got leather on it, but couldn't glove it. Huge play for Atlanta.
So the tie broken here in the bottom of the 6th, and they look for more. Fly ball center. B.J. Upton glides and makes the play. But the Braves break the 1-1 tie. 2 out, 2 RBI double by Troy Gloss. And we go to the 7th.
Beverages from around the world? Visit the world of Coca-Cola today.
Braves have taken a 3-1 lead as we go to the 7th. And hey, everybody, don't forget, Peachtree TV has back-to-back episodes of Family Guy weeknights at 7, followed by a full hour of House of Pain weeknights at 8, right here on Peachtree TV.
Defensive changes for the Braves. Gregor Blanco in center field. And Melky Cabrera moves over to left. End of the night for Eric Hinsky. And we'll see how Tim Hudson fares here in the top half of the 7th inning. That was a lot of time on the base paths in the bottom half of the 6th as the Braves took the lead. He got it all started. Zobrist at the plate. It's 2-0.
He got it all started, was on the bases a long time, as you said, and then when he got to the dugout, Eric Hinsky hit the first pitch, so he didn't really have a chance to sit down and catch his breath.
And he starts out Zobrist 3-0. He threw the automatic over. It's 3-1. Zobrist, Upton, and Sean Rodriguez here in the top of the 7th. Braves leading 3-1. Rounded up the middle. Prado can't get there. So Zobrist, a .310 hitter coming in, now 1 for 3. And here's B.J. Upton. Reached on an error, was picked off, also grounded out to second. Braves have done a good job of keeping this guy out of the mix in the course of this series. Zobrist with good speed at first. Upton waits and takes 1-1.
Upton has a unique way of starting his swing, a little bit of a hitch, if you will. Kind of almost makes a figure eight with his hands as he gets ready to swing. Once he goes from his hand position there, watch him as the pitch is being delivered.
Zobrist back with a dive at first. Playing in the top half of the 7th. Braves breaking a 1-1 tie in the bottom half of the 6th. On some clutch 2-out hitting from Troy Gloss, who got just enough of one into right field to knock in 2. The 1-1. So Hudson ahead in the count.
He still has some gas in the tank. That was 92.
Looking for his 7th win. Came in 6-2 with an ERA of 2.43 and has allowed just 1 run tonight. And Upton waves at strike 3. 6th time he has struck out in the series.
I'm not sure that one even had the plate, but such a good delivery on the changeup that Upton's got his mind made up. He wants to swing.
5 Ks in the old scorebook tonight for Tim Hudson. Then he faces Sean Rodriguez and struck him out in the 3rd. Rodriguez also grounding out in the 5th. Nibbled on the corner but missed 1-0. Runner going. Played a little hit and run, and Rodriguez fouled it into the Braves dugout.
Well, their running games has been involved in a lot of plays tonight. We've talked about their team speed the whole series. Upton got on base earlier tonight and then promptly was picked off by Tim Hudson. Crawford was caught stealing in his last attempt to go, but earlier tonight his speed produced their only run of the night. After a walk, he was moving on a ground out, made it to 2nd, trying to steal 3rd, and scored all the way from 2nd on an infield hit.
Zobrist is 9 out of 10 in the stolen base department. You know, I think I could have done the math on that graphic. I got that as 90% as well.
Very good.
If there's math involved, that's all I'm going to do right there.
You Georgia guys.
Don't get personal now.
It's complimenting you.
I realize that, I think.
In that one math class you took.
That's lined just foul. Brooks Conrad went airborne.
And as everybody was regrouping and it got a little quiet here in the ballpark, one thing you could certainly hear was the phone in the bullpen ringing after that line drive that went foul.
So they are stirring in the Atlanta bullpen here in the 7th. Another quality start by Tim Hudson. But now a full count to Rodriguez with a runner at first and 1 out. Been 3 walks tonight by Hudson. 2 of those to Carl Crawford. Runner going. And he just did get a piece.
Johnny Venners, who worked an inning and a third last night, gave up a couple of runs, begins to loosen up in the Atlanta pen.
Zobrist with the lead at first. Rodriguez waiting on a 3-2. Tapped back to the mound. Only play is to first. 2 down.
Another ground ball out, though. Another comebacker. Tim still got good movement on his pitches, and his changeup has been very effective.
Still only that one pop out by Shields in the bottom half of the third. There's an out in the air. What's your best guess on the attendance tonight, Joe?
Somewhere around 30, I would guess.
Here's Navarro, takes low 1-0. Can you be any more specific?
I would say right around 30,467.
I think you're close.
I was a little shaken by the delay because some people heard on the radio that the game had been delayed, so they were late getting here.
Sometimes it's just like having Smoltz up here. Ben Zobrist is your runner at second. Deoner Navarro, the Rays catcher, at the plate in a 3-1 game. Atlanta leads here in the top half of the 7th. Tim Hudson to the plate. Took something off and missed. It's 3-0.
Shield spot is due up next, but Willie Ibar has a bat in the on-deck circle. And Grant Balfour begins to loosen up for the Devil Rays, or excuse me, the Tampa Bay Rays in their pen.
A 3-0 due to Navarro.
This guy's number is not very good with runners in scoring position. He has a couple of hits in this series, 2 for 3, including a hit his last time up, but he's only hitting 136 in this situation. But has a good hitter's count.
Big pitch here for Tim Hudson in the top of the 7th. 3-2.
Tim had a funny follow through there, like he twisted his ankle a little bit as he was making his follow through. Appears to be all right, though. Watch Tim on this finish. Might have just rolled it a little bit, the left one.
The payoff pitch. Nowhere near. First and second with 2 out. So Willie Ibar will pinch hit. Bobby Cox is on the top step.
Ibar's better numbers are as a left-handed hitter. Bobby's trotting out there, though. He may just be on a fact-finding mission. Again, Tim was on the bases for quite a while there in the 6th inning. That may have taken its toll a little bit. He's had a good fastball this inning,
Now you saw Ibar. He certainly thought a switch was going to be made.
Yeah.
He went back to get the other helmet with the other ear flap, thinking he was going to be hitting right-handed, and Hudson's going to stay in there.
Bobby was satisfied with what Tim told him in terms of having enough left to finish this up. Hudson's due up third in the bottom of the seventh. And Bobby would love to get him through here and perhaps pinch hit for him in the bottom of the inning.
So Ibar, the former Brave, hits with 2 on and 2 out. Hits sharply, but right at Martin Prado. End of threat. Tim Hudson holds on to that 3-1 lead, and it's time to stretch.
Depot, and tonight it comes from Patrick, who wants to know when a batter hits into a double play and a run scores, why is he not credited with an RBI? And for the most part, Patrick, it's felt that if a guy causes 2 outs to be made, he doesn't deserve an RBI. Sacrifice fly, okay. Gave himself up for a run, even on a squeeze play. But on a double play, make 2 outs, you don't deserve one.
Man, if that were not the rule, think how many RBIs you would have had.
I'd have had 1 million.
Sorry about that, partner. Grant Balfour on in relief of James Shields. As he gets his warm-up pitches in. Great way to start the night tonight. The first pitch, the ceremonial first pitch, was thrown by Christopher Dobson. And it was from the rubber, and it was over the plate to Billy Wagner. And he is part of the Braves night with the Aflac Cancer Center and Blood Disorders Service of Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. They had their pregame party from 5 to 6:30 here at the park, and seats at the game tonight, and having a chance to meet guys like Christopher beforehand, who was so pumped up that he was going to get to throw out that first pitch. And just a great moment and a great night for those kids. They do such great work at the Aflac
They do.
Children's Center and Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. Can't say enough good things about them.
It's always a wonderful night when they're here, and glad so far they've been treated to a Braves lead. Let's hope Atlanta can close it out for them.
Yunel Escobar to start things off in the bottom half of the 7th against Grant Balfour.
Balfour worked in game 1 of this series and had a good 1-2-3 inning. Actually, not a 1-2-3 inning. He struck out 2, but he did give up a couple of hits. Singles to Prado and Hayward, but no damage.
The 2-0. Can't find the plate. 3-0. If you are just joining us, had a little rain delay before things could get going tonight, so we started about 25 minutes late. Braves scored 2 in the 6th to break a 1-1 tie.
On that base. Come on, that's game.
And they lead it 3-1 here in the bottom half of the 7th. Tim Hudson, great start tonight. James Shields, much better than his last outing, and has had the Rays right in this game. And there's ball 4 to Yunel Escobar.
Not at all what Joe Madden had in mind when he brought him in. Don't want to come into the game and walk the first guy. Shields only walked 1, and that was an intentional pass last inning. Hey, how about Yunel hustling to third or to second?
Was time ever called?
Second base umpire Bruce Dreckman's got his hands in the air, but was time called? Yes, he wants him to go back.
Good idea. Heads up. Let's take a look.
Because the first baseman came in to talk to the pitcher. There's nobody holding him on. So he just started walking. Nobody paying attention. Heads up play, but time had been called.
So Escobar at first. Tell them what you're going to see here from time to time.
Yeah. Chipper's come out on deck to hit for Hudson. Let's see if that means Melky's butting him over.
Tried to. Back to the screen. 0-1. As we pointed out before the game, Chipper meeting with the media tonight shortly after 6 o'clock to say, let's put the cork back in that bottle with all this retirement talk, or the R word, as he said, and let Bobby Cox enjoy his final season and concentrate on the matter at hand, which is a team that's in first place in the National League East trying to stay there. And so we'll see if all of the talk of his immediate future dies down. That's the plan, at least.
Yeah, and you know, if he had come out and said this was going to be his last year, he'd be harassed from now to the end of the year about it.
Oh, 1. And that bunt attempt fouled at the plate.
Ball must have come up and hit his bat twice. Once, twice. Yep. You see it perfectly here off the plate, and then it came up and hit the bat again, and then went out into fair territory. Good call by Billy Hahn.
Come on, Milk.
Longoria still creeping in at third as they throw over. So Longoria thinks that Melky may still be trying to lay one down with the 0-2 count. Swinging away and fouls it away.
It's rare that Bobby puts it on with 2 strikes, maybe with a pitcher, but not a position player. Longoria doesn't know that, but he backs up anyway.
Just staying alive up there is Cabrera. 0-2. Reached out and spoiled that one.
Yeah, 94, that pitch from Balfour.
Now for the Australian would-be triathlete. Trying to work his way out of a little bit of trouble, and there is a soft liner. Will he get back? Nope. Escobar doubled off of first on a soft line drive to third.
There are line drives that cause you to get doubled off. Usually the ones that are hit behind you. But when there's one hit that softly and in front of you, that's bad base running, unfortunately, and it costs the Braves their leadoff man.
It's not far from first base to the Braves dugout, but it's a long walk.
Yes.
Brandon Hicks will now pinch hit instead of Chipper. With 2 down and nobody on. There was about a 54-footer. Look at that pitch.
Yeah, we should probably watch that one again. Well, it did get the dirt.
Excuse me, 52 feet.
It did get to the dirt. That was one redeeming value. But Navarro was getting out of the way.
Ball and a strike.
Hicks finished up last night at third base, got a couple of at-bats. 1 for 2, ground out and a strikeout.
Nobody on, 2 out. Bottom half of the 7th. Braves lead at 3-1. Well, the night is over for Tim Hudson with 7 solid innings.
And another base hit.
Fly ball to right. Ben Zobrist makes that play to retire the side. We have played 7. Tim Hudson leaves with a 3-1 lead. The NASCAR Summer Series continues this Sunday on TNT with the Toyota Save Mart 350 from Sonoma, California. And all gets underway at 2 o'clock Eastern Time with Countdown to Green.
Oh, that's that raceway out in Sonoma. That's a good one. That's a nice.
It's a road course, I believe. Is it not? I think so.
What's that track called again?
Something like Infineon or something.
Yeah, right.
As I recall. Road course out there in Sonoma. Thanks, Joe. Okay, all you NASCAR fans can call and tell me how you pronounce the track in Sonoma. I think I'm close.
I think you're right on.
This is Johnny Venters, who's on in relief now of Tim Hudson. Some pal you are.
There's not much hazing that can go on in the booth, but there's some. Easy, Hal. God. Is that the PA or was that Hal?
That's just Hal.
Oh.
In case you didn't hear that at home, Jason Bartlett pinch hitting to lead off the 8th. There's no hazing. There is.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Was that Bartlett?
Where are you hiding that megaphone? Now hear this. Two balls and two strikes. Well, that's fun when you win it.
Yeah, it is. It's great.
Strike 3 called to Bartlett.
94 backing up on the inside corner. A beauty. Locked him up. Who's this hitter, Hal?
He's not biting it. We're not getting anything the next 2 innings. We're getting nothing from him. It's sensitive up here in this booth. Carl Crawford has walked a couple of times and scored the only Tampa Bay run.
What's amazing about Carl Crawford is that he doesn't have to get a hit to affect a ball game. He's 0 for 1, but he's walked twice, and then his wheels produced their only run of the night.
Tried to swipe a bag in the 6th, but Brian McCann threw him out. Back up the middle. Escobar. And by a step. Power hitting Evan Longoria steps to the plate in a 3-1 game. And the left-hander Venters will face him.
Yeah, Bobby's going to leave him in there. He's got Moylan ready. Eric O'Flaherty has also been tossing.
If there's a runner on, does he go to Moylan?
My guess is yes. Yeah.
If Longoria is up there representing the tying run, nobody on here, 2 outs. Well, he's got some zip.
This has been a good come from behind team. The Rays, old habits, see. But the Rays have been a good late inning ball club. They've outscored their opponents 94-48 in the last 2 innings.
Well, the last time they played the Braves, they were the D. Braves. So Joe Madden looking things over here over the last couple of innings as Evan Longoria draws a walk from Johnny Venters.
It's the darndest thing for Venters. He can look so good, but it's so hard for him to have a clean inning. I have to go back to June 6th at Los Angeles, which was 5 outings ago, now 6 outings ago, to find an outing where he didn't have base runners.
Now you got lefty-lefty with Pena representing the tying run at the plate.
Dangerous guy at that. This Guy's been pretty quiet the entire series. You just hate to have him break out the damage here.
Struck out his last time. Had a single and a walk. They didn't think much of that call. 1-1.
He's only hitting 183 against left-handed pitchers this year. That's kind of going in line with his average start of the ball game at 196. But he's hit 15 homers, and 6 of them have come against left-handed pitchers.
Threw it by him at 94. 1-2. They're on their feet with Longoria at first and Pena at the plate. Down 1-2 in the count. The young Johnny Venters. Longoria goes, grounded towards second. Escobar cheating that way and throws him out. We head to the bottom of the 8th. 3-1 good guys.
Bliss with the new Zaxby's milkshakes, and right now the difference in the ball game, this little Ric Flair to right that Zobrist couldn't come up with off the bat of Joey Gloss. It plated 2, gives him 53 RBIs on the year, and it has given the Braves a 3-1 lead as they bat here with the top of the order in the 8th.
Jason Bartlett, who pinch hit earlier, stays in the game to play short. And the third Tampa Bay pitcher of the night, Joaquin Benoit.
Boy, is he having a good year for them in a setup role for Soriano. 4 walks, 22 strikeouts, and everybody hitting 100 against him. Goodness.
5 for 50.
Yeah.
Well, let's see what Martin Prado can do with him. Hello, 97.
This guy used to be with the Rangers, right? He went up and down with Texas.
Grounded towards second. Rodriguez makes the play. 1 down here in the bottom of the 8th.
32 years old, 6'3", 220. Was hurt last year and didn't play. Had a torn right rotator cuff that had to be repaired. Rangers let him go, and the Rays got him as a minor league free agent. What a pickup.
How about this? Struck out 9 straight over a 3-outing stretch. He's got some stuff. And he throws a strike to Brooks Conrad. Brooks had a key sacrifice bunt in the 6th. When the Braves scored 2 to break the 1-1 tie. Makes you want to grab a bat, doesn't it, Joe?
Joe, this is one of those times where you just wish you were still down there and just dug in and hunkered down.
Strike 3. There's no messing around with this guy.
No, I wanted to see him pitch because I remember him when he was with the Rangers, but mostly not because he's been so effective. I just like saying Joaquin Benoit.
Who doesn't? Well, here's Jason Hayward. He has struck out twice and gone deep. Back in the 4th, he tied this game with his 11th home run of the season. And if you weren't here, this is what it looked like.
Yeah, he really launched it. The 14th allowed by Shields this year. A good swing on that one.
He waits on a 2-0 from the flamethrower.
Remember last night, Ernie, Billy Wagner threw a lot in anticipation of coming into the game in the 9th inning, but the Braves scored twice in the 8th. Didn't need his services, and then he had to get back up again after Venners got in some trouble, but ready to go tonight.
That's over for a strike 2-2.
I think it's safe to say he could probably look fastball here.
That was awesome.
Took a little off. 96.
Billy Wagner ready for duty. We're going to the 9th. 3-1 Atlanta.
Watching the Braves play, I can't hardly wait.
against the Braves, and he's 6-4 on the year. Derek Lowe goes for the Bravos, looking for his 9th win of the year.
Royals a good hitting club. Their pitching is down the ladder a bit in the American League. But we'll see Ned Yost and company tomorrow night. Here's a reminder to stay tuned after the game for the AT&T Game Summary. AT&T, rethink possible. Well, the Braves closer Billy Wagner is on to try to preserve this one for Tim Hudson. It's a 3-1 Atlanta lead. Ben Zobrist turns around the bat right-handed against the lefty Wagner. $11 out of 13 in save opportunities, closing in on the 400 save milestone in his career. A little flare to right. Prado out, makes the play.
Scary territory. Just ask Nate McLeod. He can tell you what this is like. Martin took a couple of looks to see where he was, but knew he had room and knew it was up to him to make the catch, and he did.
That was like watching a couple of cars at an intersection and somebody swerves at the last moment and everybody's okay. One down. B.J. Upton at the plate.
By the way, for those of you that are wondering what the BJ stands for, his name is actually a nickname from his dad, who is senior. His dad was called Boss, so they called him Boss Jr. And that's how the BJ stuck.
Quickly ahead 0-2 is Wagner.
His name is actually Melvin Emmanuel Upton.
And now you can see why BJ stuck.
There you go.
The 0-2. Steve right 3, 2 down.
How about a little left-handed 97 gas? Wagner hasn't been in a game in 5 days, but doesn't mean he hasn't been throwing in the bullpen like he did last night a lot. And man, that was sharp right there on the corner.
The Rays have the best road record in the bigs, but they're an out away from losing 2 out of 3 here in Atlanta. Popped him up. Prado. Hayward. Ball game. Troy Claus delivered offensively. Tim Hudson gets it done on the mound with help from Johnny Venters and Billy Wagner.
Billy Wagner just 3 away from 400 saves now with that one tonight. Outstanding night. Don't forget about that good play Troy Gloss made tonight, too. That 3-6-3 double play in the second inning. So not only the bat, but some good glove work tonight by the Braves' big first baseman.
3-5-1 for Atlanta. 1-4-0 for Tampa Bay.